Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear.
Can you hear yourself talk?
Yes.
Yes.
So dumb.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Here comes 2. Here comes 2. There it goes. I did it. I identified 2.
Yeah, it identifies as 2, everybody.
Yep.
I
Number
do.
2. Number 2. I'm Eric.
Basically,
A big apology.
I'm number 2, Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And we're IBIF first. Yay!
Does our things not even pick up the
It does.
crack of beer anymore?
It does surprisingly, actually.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah, it's a little strange, but Chris, you'll be happy with me.
Wow.
Is that the margarita style?
Yes, the classic lime margarita style, because Truly has finally figured out that when you go for a seltzer, you don't want 10 grams of sugar in it. So they finally made one that's like margarita style, but it's only got like 1 gram of sugar in it, which is still less than some of the other ones, which is pretty good. So I don't know how it tastes though. I haven't had one.
I think that's the real, like, canned opportunity for seltzers. If you're gonna have one, margarita style, I think is the best way to go.
That's actually It's not like a strong margarita, but that's a pretty tasty margarita. I'm not gonna lie. It's got a good.
And
it's got
it
a good
doesn't
amount
help
of,
that the
like, lime
canned
flavor.
doesn't help that for the canned cocktail, that we didn't have any good margaritas out of there either.
I mean, we could have bought some really good ones. I found some, like, we've had some that are really, really good, but they're not canned. They like come in bottles, and it's like pre-mixed
Oh,
ones. That
yeah, I
we
know
could
what
have
you're
like
talking about.
gonna loophole on that.
No,
That
it's all about
one's
the can.
fucking
It's all about-
good.
We're going. We're going to the pool. We're gonna pop open a cocktail.
I've still got one in the. I've got another one in the fridge because Shannon bought a couple of them the other day. There's one sitting in the fridge.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm not drinking that. That's a real strong margarita.
As far as the margarita disc goes, how do you feel about that versus the Paps,
The PBR?
Blue Ribbon one? Yeah.
Mm. I like the aftertaste on the PBR a little bit better, actually.
PBR still wins then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The PBR is also 8% alcohol.
That, you know what? That is very true.
This is 5.3% alcohol, but
And much
it's
harder to
not
find.
bad.
harder.
This isn't bad, and it's not very seltzery. It's definitely more like, when they say margarita style, it's very much more like an effervescent margarita and not so much like a seltzer. Like, I don't feel as much of the carbonation in it.
So it's definitely malt.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. What's it say?
Bring a malt
Gluten-free
beverage.
beer. It
Well, I
says
mean-
beer.
Yeah, malt liquor. I don't know.
But usually they say malt. And it
It's
just
true.
specifically says beer. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Mass., which is owned by Uncle Sam, or damn it. Sam Adams, that's it.
Yep.
I'm like Uncle
I was
Sam. I'm like, what is it? I'm like, Sam Adams. There
Taxes,
we go.
I was like,
Beer
I was trying. I
company.
couldn't. I couldn't get the Oh, and you're drinking out of a Sam Adams glass there too, Eric or Chris, whoever you are.
Of course, Chris is.
Of course, Chris is.
Are you drinking? Are you drinking gin out of the Sam Adams glass though, like you've done before?
No, not tonight.
Oh, okay.
Trying to be clear for tomorrow.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything about
got some meal in there though.
A malt hard seltzer with natural agave nectar. Nothing about malt beverage. So it's more of a beer than a malt beverage, I guess. I don't know. I've also got a big old thing of Bullet.
Nice.
Way you do it. It's the way you do it. I have Bubble Stash from Hop Valley, my IPA, and then I have a big old thing of Nika. So happy for that.
Mine's like 2 fingers bigger than yours.
You have a 4-finger pour?
It's about right there. It's like a 4-finger pour, dude.
Nice. Well, I had a 3-finger pour and I've been drinking on it already, but yeah.
And Chris is going clean tonight, everybody.
Yep.
He got big day tomorrow.
Smart.
So he's going clean.
Big day tomorrow.
That's smart. I'm trying to
Gotta
drink
be
away a headache.
Productive and then do some work.
Get it done, man. Get it
and
done.
by work, Chris means play a fuck ton of Lost Ark.
You gonna wake? Do you have an alarm set? Are you gonna wake up at a certain time, or you like going hardcore to it?
It doesn't go live till like 10, and I gotta take care of some stuff in the morning. So I'll probably play some during the day, off stream, and then stream at night for who knows how long.
Yeah, Chris was complaining mildly while we were talking earlier. He's like, "Well, I can't play until Friday because I didn't buy the Founders Pass." And I was like, "Well, like if you buy like any of the Founders Passes, does it count?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Here you go." I'm like, $15. Have the bronze one. Play some
like
Lost Ark.
15 and goes like just starts getting exponentially higher all the way to $100.
Oh yeah, because it's in-game currency and stuff like that. Like there's so much shit. Like I was looking at that and I'm like, and a pet.
And
Like you get extra pets if you get more, like as you get more of them. I forget exactly everything that was there, but yeah, it's just like
which we are part of the creator program. So starting Friday on 11th, we'll have Twitch drops enabled. They'll be able to get you your own pet. With
can you say that? Les was saying that he couldn't say that earlier.
I think you can.
We'll find out.
Goodbye, me. Our PR guy read it, everybody.
I didn't see anything in the email that said embargo.
I don't think there is. We can't delete the pod. We got to stop the podcast too, chat. No, we can't. We're not stopping. We're not dropping. We're not shutting down. Open up shopping. Whoa.
We do it live. We fucking do it live.
Yeah, because that's how the Rough Riders roll. There we go. See, I'm still going to keep going along with it. Oh, man. It has been a fucking couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Dude, it's been like 3 months.
I think you're fine, Chris. I actually didn't believe Les more than you. And he's like, I can't talk about it. I'm like, really? I don't remember seeing anything about that, but okay. But there's another Les Vestige. He's part of our Extra Life team as well, and another streamer here on Twitch. And he will be in a guild with Chris in Lost Ark, and I'm assuming Bulldog will be too, as well as Dreams and a lot of other people that frequent our channel. Oh man, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we did a podcast for an IBIF first podcast. But with the amount of news that's sitting in here, it's like 3 months worth of news that's all happened.
It's been gnarly everywhere. Not even just like in gaming, just like everywhere, just shit's going crazy all the time, it feels like.
Yep. And I mean, at least the Olympics are on.
Oh yeah,
at least,
man. I keep forgetting.
At least we can watch curling. At least we can watch curling.
I guess. Right. I feel like that's the main thing I've wanted to do, and I'm not doing it. And when I think about doing it, I just get sad because I'd rather be in like a giant arena with you two fuckers getting drunk as shit watching curling. Any other way is just like,
at a sports book.
Cool. Yeah. Any other way is just not as great. It's just like,
And then they change to something else, so we leave and find another bar.
Walk around with our beers. We'll walk around with our beers because we're in Vegas. And then we stop to go to the bathroom. And then one person goes up to the bartender and says, hey, if we stay, because the bar's empty, will you turn curling on? He's like, yeah. There's a war going on in chat now. I side with the curling side. Curling better than figure skating. Figure skating still good. Curling way better.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll jump right into news. This will be actually probably the fastest segue we've had into news in a while, but we're also probably going to spend maybe the most time on news that we have in a while.
yeah, we got a lot to cover. Yeah.
So we'll start with what we were just talking about. Lost Ark fans in Korea paid for a billboard ad near the dev's office thanking them for all of their work. Proving that this is and will hopefully stay a wholesome community that doesn't send death threats to the devs.
This is what you do. Wholesome content, not death threats, because they nerfed your favorite character.
God. Fucking people. I swear to God.
Fucking people, man.
But yes, I like that. Chris said that over. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, that's actually really wholesome. Which I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
Be nice to the devs, people. Be nice to the game devs. That's without them, you wouldn't have the fucking game in the first place. So go fuck yourselves.
Right?
All right.
Yeah,
What? What are you gonna say, Jason?
nothing. No,
Yeah,
nothing.
say
No,
it.
they just
Say it.
people just blow my mind how stupid they think they are. I mean, it's just an entertainment outlet, and you're gonna like scream at someone for changing a game. I don't like. I get it that like there's things that are going on with changing games, like Activision. Fuck Activision. We've already been over this a billion times, but some of the shady shit that they do, yes, that's fucked up. You know, especially with multiplayer, not multiplayer, and all the different crap that they do within Call of Duty. But you know, if someone's just like, hey, we're balancing the game, we're making this game, you know, that's part of the game. That's part of it all. I mean, people find exploits, find out something that makes them way too OP, breaks the game for everybody else. So why are you getting so butthurt about it, man? I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I get butthurt that I don't get characters that I really want. Like fucking GeoDaddy, I have not gotten him yet.
Oh, at least you didn't have a chance to make the fucking fuck up that I did in the last rolls.
Oh yeah.
Where I was just like, I had hard pity. I was 100%. I was gonna get the character that I wanted, and it was a dual banner setup, and I just fat fingered pressing enter quickly twice on the wrong fucking banner.
Not on
Zhao. I was just like, not on Zhao. I got it on Xianhe or whatever her name is, and she's still a 5-star
good.
character.
And she's
Still
good.
really
I
good.
enjoyed playing as her.
She's just not what I
She's
want.
not Zhao.
So I'm just gonna,
She's not Zhao. I mean, Zhao is a fucking beast. No,
He's fast. That's what I wanted.
He's fast and he's a DPS machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he fucking murders people. It's great. No, like, I got to hard pity on my first run through, and it was either than 50-50 or banner, and I lost the 50-50 and got Mona instead of getting GeoDaddy. Which sucks. Like, I wish I lost the 50-50 on at least soft pity. Like, I wish that happened, because then I wouldn't have wasted like 20 summons on that. So now I have to go through a whole set and cross my fucking fingers that I get him before I hit soft pity, because damn, I need GeoDaddy. I need GeoDaddy in my life, and I don't even have space for another fucking polearm user. I don't even have Hu Tao like leveled up, and then I look at my team and I'm like, I don't know where to put Hu Tao. I'm like, Child's really good. I'm like, I guess I could replace him. But then I've also got
other problem.
I've got Ball at C1, and I'm like, where do I put her in? I swap her out in and out with Child, but then at that point I have two Animo and 2 Electro in my team because I just can't take Kecking out because I bought Kecking's pretty dress.
Oh my god, you would.
She's one of my mains, so I bought Kecking's pretty dress. Anywho, going back to Activision, we've got quite a few things that we could talk about for Activision. But the first one is Activision is to make more Call of Duty to help combat the decline of Call of Duty. Because that's the problem with Call of Duty, is that there's not enough of it. That's why people aren't playing it. 100%. That's it.
Because they need more.
This is such like a alpha like boss. This is some CEO or some like VP or president of a division that was just like, I need to get profits up. Profits are down, shares are down, all that bullshit like that. And they're just sitting there looking at their charters like, let's see, when do profits skyrocket the most? When we release a game. Interesting. What if we were to release a game every other day? Then we just have profits non-stop.
Raining profits.
And what's sad is that he's probably fucking right. He's probably right that it would still happen. People would be like, oh, new Call of Duty, I guess it's a Tuesday. Better buy my Call of Duty today. It wouldn't
$60, here we go.
It would not shock me. It would not shock me. And people would just be like, how? It's like it's like, how you can like go to your bank and be like, hey bank, I'd like to like set up auto payments, like, for whatever thing. And hey bank, send my gas bill automatically this amount every month, blah, just like that.
Yeah.
Like there's gotta be like at least 1 million people that are just like, hey bank, every like, Tuesday in February, send just $60 to Blizzard Activision. I don't give a fuck. Just do it. Nothing else than just, I got to do it.
And then they'll bump it up to 70. And then they'll bump it up to 80. And then they'll no longer be releasing standard editions. Everything will be a collector's edition. That's the baseline is collector's edition.
Oh, of course. But then you have Platinum Edition and then Epic God Tier Edition, and then you'll have like the Ghost Edition. Like, y'all remember your favorite like character from like the last actually decent Call of Duty game, right? Well, now he's got a whole like series named after him. Like, how about that? And the only way you get the actual emblem that says I'm actually a fan of Call of Duty, nobody else gets that shit. Only you did, mister. I spent $300 on this dumbass game. Good job. Good job.
And at what point are we going to start getting like collector's editions that just give us like a real gun?
Oh my god. Like, well, I mean, shit, 3D printing.
This is America, right?
Now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like, hey, kids, here's your 3D printing script. Go ahead and load this up on Thingiverse and go ahead and print that thing out. It won't fire. We're safe. Law people, we're safe. But here's definitely a link to the Reddit thread where you can figure out how to make it fire. But don't worry. We're compliant and safe. This thing is Call of Duty at its max. And it
You're
costs
just sending,
just as much.
like, actually, like, the legalese of this is pretty sound. All you're doing is sending a link to a website. The website has the content.
It's not my fault
what you do with that said content then, because that's the same thing with the content too. They're just like, well, this is just like schematics. Like, that's all it is. It's schematics. I'm not like doing anything. It's just, I just made schematics. That's it.
You can't kill anybody with schematics. Like,
yes.
It's just the same thing as if you go out and buy an upper or lower of a gun. You can't kill anybody with it. So here you go. I don't know what else you're gonna do with that. You're probably gonna put it in a little like, case up on your mantle. Like, there's my upper for my rifle. That's just all I got. Just the upper. I don't need the lower or anything like that. That's all I'm buying it for. I didn't buy an upper to actually assemble a gun. No. Nobody does that.
No.
Nobody's 3D printing a gun because they want to 3D print a gun. That's just not happening. That's just of course not. Of course not. But Eric, for your confidence, you can buy the I didn't know that I was buying a gun collector's edition of the game for an extra $300. And it identifies you from any crimes that have been committed by buying this because you bought the edition that said, I didn't know that I was buying a gun. $300 extra. Thank you very much. We'll have a legal battle for you, lawyer ready for you. The lawyer edition of Call of Duty comes with
extra
with the
$2,000.
Extra $2,000. They come on retainer. You get a lawyer on retainer with your special edition of Call of Duty. The lawyer up Call of Duty version.
Call of Duty lawyer up edition.
Includes the bonus kit, but does not include extra tokens on your spins. Sorry, guys. Sorry. For that version, you need to buy the actual CEO pack, and that's only sold to one person, and that's Microsoft, apparently.
Not yet. Not yet. Does the CEO pack entitle you to touching butts? Because I think that that's the case, right? That CEOs are allowed to touch butts?
If you pay enough money, you can get Bob's lawyer.
Oh, Jesus. I was going to say you can't kill somebody with a 3D printer, but some of those 3D printers are fucking heavy. You could kill somebody with a 3D printer. You can kill someone with a 3D printer easier than you can kill somebody with schematics.
I mean, you can kill somebody with anything, just like anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. You can kill anybody with anything.
Just like any pizza's a personal pizza if you try hard enough. Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. And you can kill somebody with anything if you try hard enough. I'll try anything twice. I do love it. Stuff in chat said there was a billboard in my home state advertising jewelry. It was like free gun with purchase for diamonds. And I think that,
hey, man,
you're buying a gift for her and you get a gift for yourself. Right?
Yeah.
Gift for her, gift for
Valentine's
yourself.
Day is coming up.
And you have to make sure that you secure and protect those blood diamonds.
Yeah.
You know how you do that, Eric?
By 3D printing a gun.
No, by buying the special collector's edition blood diamond version of Call of Duty, where we will help monitor blood diamonds in your name. Charitable donation will be made, where we'll give the 3D printed guns that you have no idea about to the children of Somalia, where they will then decide on how they want to use their Call of Duty bundle packs, i.e. weapons and ammo, to defend your blood diamonds that you have so generously bought for in-game content. Now, people will be dying all over the place in your name. Don't worry, we will send you extra rolls on your loot packs. Every death. 3. Every death.
No, chat's right. Chat's right. We're wrong. Best way to protect him is to shove him up your butt. Anything's a dildo if you try hard enough. All right, we'll keep...
find more at chris'sbutthole.com.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, God. Chris's Butthole.
chris'sbutthole.com.
Sweet, delicious butthole.
So we'll stick with the Activision news.
Welcome in, Raiders.
Yeah, yes. Welcome in, Raiders that came in during that rant. We love you. We were sending in love in the chat, and everyone came in. They're like, why are they talking about 3D printing guns and shoving things up their butts?
I thought this was about video games.
Yes.
It is. It's a normal day for IBIF first. It's a normal day for IBIF first. That's what we do.
Yep. Okay, Microsoft is actively trying to downplay the advantage of Blizzard, or of the Blizzard deal, by saying what we've been saying as a joke, that they'll still be number 3. Which is funny. In this market. So we joked about the fact that they'll still only be number 3 behind Sony, who's currently there. So it's like, even with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Microsoft still won't have the revenue that Sony does for gaming. And just gaming, not like movies and all that shit. But what they don't talk about is the possible ramifications that this can have with revenue for everybody else and revenue for them, boosting everything up and reducing things down, in which case then they could very easily jump up to number 1. Like, if they play their cards right. Which, God, no fucking corporate American company is going to do anything to fuck over people. CEOs have everyone's best intentions well in mind for everything that they do. They only think about us and you, the consumer. They don't think about themselves whatsoever. CEOs do not care about money, thank you, chat. It's all about the games and how well they can make them. Not how fast they can churn them out, not how many games they can make within a year, but the quality of the content. I feel dirty.
Here's your collector's edition of Call of Duty, Eric, for saying that very well.
It also, so as we talked about, and the reasoning, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that nobody was talking about it beforehand, and we talked about it on the last podcast, that this is going to be reviewed by the Federal Trade Commission, which it now is officially being reviewed by the Federal Trade Commission and not the Justice Department, in which case that's what we thought it was going to be. And that is because they are being very aggressive on antitrust now. And if you are leapfrogging that many people and moving up to number 3, I have a feeling that they're not going to approve it, especially considering the debacle that happened with the T-Mobile and Sprint merger a few years back.
Few years? It was like almost 20 years ago.
T-Mobile Sprint merger was only a few years ago. It feels like 20 years ago, though, because of COVID. Yeah, thank you, COVID.
It's a long year.
And it was in the process for a very long time, waiting to get approved. But yes, it is being... And also what's happening with the ARM and NVIDIA deal, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, it is officially being reviewed by the Federal Trade Commission. There is another deal that is going through that will not most likely be reviewed by the FTC, and that is because they don't have stock. So the big difference between who does what is whether or not stocks are involved. And the Trade Commission is going to review this one because of stocks, and the other one is not because it's a wholly owned company. Is everyone clear on that?
Yep.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. Oh, okay.
You know who's definitely gonna win?
Us. Hey, let's talk about winning, everybody. Let's continue to talk about winning in this whole Activision deal. Activision is still actively trying to bust the union that was set up 2 weeks ago.
You gotta. Hey. You know what? Company's got a company.
Yeah, and we're gonna read some actual excerpts as to why unionization should not happen from a Slack message. This is the best part. This is a Slack message that got sent out company-wide by the VP of Quality Assurance at Activision. A union doesn't do anything to help us produce world-class games, and the bargaining process is not typically quick, often reduces flexibility, and can be adversarially and lead to negative publicity. All of this could hurt our ability to continue creating great games. With many union contracts include a just cause provision and a grievance process, this is really just a different way to deal with disciplinary issues. Yeah, they make it so that you have to actually, just not fire somebody willy-nilly. You have to have a real thing. Like, I'm both pro and against unions. Like, they do a really good job. They can get corrupt and they can fuck things over, but at the heart of the issue, unions are great. A unionized company cannot act quickly on its own if the union does not agree with its position. In both situations, the company remains free to disagree and maintain a different position.
These are out of union busting protocol, like there's
it
a
is.
handbook, right? Like
It is.
Chris said it in the thing. Yeah, it's 1,000%. And you just hit the nail on the head, Eric. Like, there is a place for unions and there's a place not for unions. And just like anything, they can become corrupt. A few bad apples ruin the bunch type thing, no matter what. I mean, unions aren't exempt from this. Any situation, power always corrupts, period.
Yep.
And it'll happen in unions, it'll happen outside of unions, but you'll always have companies that have unions and do a great job. You have companies that don't have unions and do a great job. It's just, how much open hand slapping of asses are there? In which case, then that may change how much of a union that you need.
UPS's union is great. They do a really good job.
Yeah, it is. They do a really good job. And, I know a few UPS drivers who would say that it's not a great union and that a lot of the bullshit that goes along with that in trying to get your stuff resolved is a very lengthy process. There's not a perfect solution to any of this, and that's why it's such a hard and huge issue for everybody.
You want to know what's the perfect solution? Is if the company wasn't bullshit and corrupt in the first place and fucked people over for so long.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
You can't fix stupid.
That's how you bust unions,
not gonna happen.
by not being corrupt bullshit, and then they won't form.
Exactly.
I mean, I love it how we all are saying that, but if we were to each given $100 million or something like that, or $1 billion, and just be like, hey, run a company right now, we would run that shit to the ground so fast.
Oh, I'd run it to the ground. You know why? Because I would not be an asshole.
No, because we would be assholes. We'd be like, hey, here's $1,000. Punch yourself in the face right now. But $2,000. Bam.
Everyone's got a price. I mean, all we're doing is trying to find your price, John. That's it. $3,000.
A special collector's edition of Call of Duty.
There you go. I'll punch myself in the face for $500 according to
sandwich.
Oh. Wait, is this a hot ham sandwich? Like, is it a Cubano?
No.
Oh. I don't know about that. Like, you're talking cold ham and Swiss on like a cold roll? I don't know.
I say it's a ham sandwich. What are you getting? Is that cheese sandwich thing from that Fire Festival?
Oh, God. A piece of bacon counts as ham, right? Right? Prosciutto is ham, but it's also bacon. So, yeah, this is like a little piece of bacon. Slice of white American cheese. And one slice of white bread. Because as long as you fold it over, we've had this conversation many times, you can fold it over as long as it covers two sides. That's a sandwich. Taco sandwich. All right. Like Jason, I love that Jason knew where I was going with this. He's just like sitting there biding his time, waiting for me to say it. All right. I think we're done with Microsoft and Activision shit, right?
No, there's more. I put something else on.
Is there more? Okay, well... Oh.
I think it's down towards the bottom.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Activision made a record $5.1 billion from Micro. Is this like a record just for them or a record as a whole for the industry? I want to know this.
It was their personal record, so
okay, their
I don't
personal
know
record.
for the industry, but
NFTs? Yeah. What NFTs? More like MMTs, more microtransactions. The real reason Microsoft wants Activision.
It is. I mean, you can look at all the bullshit that's going on, the stuff that we've been talking about in many of our podcasts and how shitty that is and the working environment is. End of the day, though, they're still printing money because not everyone's aware of the bullshit that's going on there. And Microsoft can come in, play the hero, and sign up for a $5 billion paycheck as well. Okay, I'll do that. Give me $5 billion a year and I'll come on in and tell people like, hey, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. No. Use this Call of Duty Activision like bundle pack instead of touching your employees. Period.
Just wait.
It comes with one of those one of those mouse pads.
Wait. Whoa, hang on. I need clarification on this. Instead of touching your employees, period, or instead of touching your employees, period. Which one is this? I need to know because I need clarification for this. I am Activision VP, and I need clarification on which one it is that you mean. Is there a comma there or not?
Dude, this writes itself. I can just see the HR representative standing in the middle of that conference, just like with the most like dog deadpan face on their look on their face, just like I quit.
Okay. I think let's see here. That's it. Okay, that was the last one for Activision that I can see, which is great because now I'm going to jump into an offhanded comment that stuff in chat made that is now going to prove that unfortunately your comment was mildly wrong. New York Times has bought Wordle for 7 figures. It's an undisclosed number or sum, but for 7 figures. But you can just right click on the website and download the entire app for free. And you can run it for it's like 600 days or something like that is what they have built into it. Because it's just an algorithm that churns out words.
It was like 2,000
maybe
days.
3,000. Who knows? It's a lot.
That's like almost 5 years. It's like that's a long time.
Die out by then.
You're not going to care about Wordle in a year in itself, let alone 5. And here it is for free. Just go ahead and just take it.
Download the entire app.
Take it.
You download it. It's a fucking web app, or it's a fucking website that you just boom straight download, and it runs perfectly fine.
Actually, you can't do that. we will get you your copy of Wordle and a nice little button that says that I'm a premium subscriber to Wordle by sending us $500.
Yep.
And we'll then send you the
collector's edition. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I'm score faster.
I am Wordle blank 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 blank, and ER is the only ones that you know.
Sorry. All right. Well, anyways, I would just keep the link on the website, as what Chad said. However, that won't work because once the New York Times has it, it'll go behind that fucking New York Times paywall. So who knows how long that's gonna take? Which is why I love that so many different like websites were just saying like, yeah, just go download it now. Like just saying boom, 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 download it now. Hey, I got it. Apparently, Steph started running her own Wordle in chat, and apparently, I got it on my first guess. The word was bitch. All right. Okay. The Steam Deck is actively coming out. We've talked about this. It is actually coming out at the end of this month. Like they have committed to it, and apparently, it's better than we thought it was going to be. Yeah. But is it as good as we hoped it was going to be? That's the big question that I have. And I'm not going to shell out the fucking money to find out.
No, I don't think you're going to be able to, even if you wanted to. It's so far on backlog. Like, everyone's just so desperate for gaming stuff right now. And it's still a sign of the times that I don't think you're even going to have a chance to get your hands on it for a long time anyway. And hopefully by the time you do, it'll be a little bit more understood and easier accessible. I have no idea. I'm not going to shit on it, unlike every other peripheral that Steam has ever brought out in their entire catalog. But that's my 2 cents on that. It's just like, what has Steam brought out that I don't have over here just collecting dust?
Did you actually buy a Steam box? I'm not going to buy this.
No, I'm not an idiot.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I bought one for R&D at my old company, and that was it. Like, it was enough for me to go, yep, nope, don't want this at my house.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. Their history makes me be like, I'm not going to get it day one. If it sticks around and has a staying power, maybe I will eventually. Just kind of like how I did with the Switch. You know, it's just like, I'll hang out and check it out and then eventually buy it.
The plus for this is that it's definitely way more powerful than a Switch. It still only has a 720p screen, and we can joke about like, oh, 720p PC gaming. What fucking bullshit is this? But when you're sitting there with your fucking thing right here in front of your face, you don't need it to be 1080p. You're barely going to notice it at all. And that helps out then a lot with the processing power of it. And with the AMD Fidelity or whatever FSR that they've got, it's supposed to be fucking amazing on this. And they're just lucky that AMD was like, yeah, we can get this working on Linux because that's what you need. Now, that's the big problem is that you still don't have native support for a lot of the games that you may want to play because Steam OS runs on Linux. You have to have a dual boot for Windows, or they were working on something, weren't they, Chris?
Well, there's a kernel or whatever that kind of helps convert it over to help.
But the dev has to do that, right?
I think that just kind of helps with it, or kind of makes some compatible. It doesn't work perfectly yet, but works for a lot of games. And what a lot of the devs have been saying as they've been kind of trying is, yeah, it just works. There might be some few minor tweaks we might to make it run a little better, but it just boots up and works.
But so the hope is that they actually take the time to do that, which is good.
Yeah, I think Steam had come on and said their goal is to get every game on Steam to work on the Steam Deck.
I mean, if I was them, that would be my goal.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to play Don't Starve on the 6 different device. That's great.
Do you own it on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I've owned it on my phone from the very beginning. I bought it for either free or $1 when I got it, and because it was just like they're like, hey, I think we're gonna bring it out on the phone. I was just like, I don't care, give it to me. It's gonna run like shit. I don't care. I want to play it right now. No, then it'd be like, here's how bad it was. Like I would be on international flights and I would have my phone and my Switch. And this is obviously later on because it came out on the phone at first. And I'd always play it on my phone at first. And then I also had my Vita, but the Vita kind of got little, but like the Vita version was super slow. Anyway, moving forward, I then had my phone and my Switch. And the phone version was so slow and the Switch version is so slow that I would literally have them both out. And I would play, going into the caves, loading, put that down, play, dead serious. And now obviously they would load while I was still playing, and I would just put one on pause and keep going. But I had consistently 2 games of Don't Starve playing all the time when I was on these flights, and people would just be like, "The fuck are you doing?" And I'm just like, "I have no life. I'm sorry. This is what I do. That's just what I do."
Yeah, no, he does. He makes a very interesting point about not caring about phone versions being so shit because people will still play them for the convenience. I mean, just being able to do it while you poop.
Yep.
Like I don't think I can. I don't think I can boot up my my PS5 today. I'm pooping. Guess I'll get my stuff on Genshin. I mean that handles like shit. Don't play on your phone, Genshin on your phone, and expect to actually like play Genshin. Use it to log in, and that's about it. Get your welcome pass, and then log back out.
Pretty much. I mean, but there's something to be said though about like the quality of the games. Like Don't Starve is not a great looking game in a way that it's like super powerhouse of graphics, you know. So It's just like you're not going to really be missing anything just the amount of time that it loads, right? Genshin, I agree with you though. It's just like that's a horrible way to play. I don't know how anyone plays like extensively on mobile just because it is such a bigger game that you're getting into. But if you just want to jump in there and get your dailies and bullshit like that you don't have to like really move around, great.
Yep. Just go in, get your dailies, do a couple of like errands where you just run around, especially like the dailies that you have that you can just like go up to the chick and give her food. Who, I swear to God, if I feed this bitch one more time, I'm going to murder her. Like, don't you have a job? Can't you just buy food? The port is open, lady. You can go back to Liyue. Just go to Liyue and get food. You're no longer beholden to Inazuma. You can leave this fucking this fucking country and go back to your home for a little while. But no, she's just gonna stand there and bitch.
Mine is the play pirates with the kids.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You have to have them eventually have you play pirates with them. And I keep having the same one where they just want you to clean up the deck. They want you to swap the deck.
I've played pirates with them and it still won't go away. No, I've done all of the options. But I've done all of the options. Supposedly, you're supposed to get an achievement for completing all of the options for playing as a pirate, and I've done all of them, and I haven't gotten the achievement. I'm pissed.
Well, no, because there's two different missions with it. There's one where you swap the deck, and one where you do something else, apparently. And that something else is the one I've never done. I go in there and swap the deck, because you've done all the different fucking things that you possibly can do. And it's just like, nope, just keep swapping the deck. I don't get it. I don't give a shit. I'm so over it. But I'm going to keep doing it.
Okay, so I'm actually going to talk about this because there's a section in the one that I'm going to talk about after it that I totally forgot to write up in there. But Stadia reportedly deprioritized by Google as they focus on selling streaming tech to third parties. Shocking. So, what does this have to do with anything? What does this mean? Well, they were actually in the process of talking with one dev about making basically their own streaming service and platform and getting that taken over. However, that dev went in a whole different direction, in which case Sony is buying Bungie for $3.6 billion. So this is the one that I was talking about later, where there's a big acquisition. $3.6 billion is nowhere near as much as the 60 whatever billion or whatever that fucking bullshit number is for Activision.
Still a huge number.
It's a huge number, especially for a small company that actually was just part of Activision, but left primarily because of how fucking toxic and bullshit Activision was. I think that was one of the main reasons why they left. And they're paying $3.6 billion, but the difference is this is a wholly owned company, not a traded company. So Sony could just straight up buy them without any issues. It's just another fucking dev. The great thing is that Sony has said that they're allowed to stay independent. They're going to do everything. They're actually even going to be able to publish on their own. They're just going to work with Sony on doing things, and Sony's just giving them a fuck ton of money.
Basically Make
the
us
deal
live
has
service
been
games.
Do what?
Make us live service games.
Yes.
Here's
So the
money.
deal has been 6 months in the making. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to the Activision Blizzard like a lot of us thought that it was. But then it's like, I thought that immediately, and then I was like, wait a second. You don't just make a napkin-like deal like that fast. Especially for a weird-ass number like $3.6 billion. But $1.2 billion of this money, so 1/3 of the amount of money that they're paying for this, is earmarked specifically for developers to stay with them. And they've got like all these incentive programs and longevity incentives and it's like that money is like in the bank sitting there only for the development staff. And that's part of the contract.
That's super smart because they saw what happened to Halo when Bungie left. There's like, oh, well, they're with the soul of the game, and you can tell. You can drastically tell. Not saying that Halo went bad or anything like that, but you can definitely tell this is no longer the same people that made this game type thing. And so I can totally see them being like, hey, we want to continue to build up on Destiny or whatever else, but we love the tight controls and mechanics and all the stuff that Bungie is able to perform on, obviously not lore, but they're like, hey, here you go. We'll get you on that. And please, dear God, stay. Like, we're not buying the name. We're buying you. We're buying your talent. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Now, hey, I mean, there's a shit ton of fucking lore in Destiny 2. I had
lore. Just like there's lore in Dark Souls. It's just like I don't want to read it.
Well, there's actual like story lore that you go through and whatnot. It's actually really hard to pay attention to it because there's just fucking bullets flying everywhere and you can barely hear any of the dialogue that's going on there, which really sucks because of a lot of the voice actors that they've had that have done stuff like
when Nathan's character dies. When Nathan's character dies, it was such like a big thing, but I was just like, wait, did that really just happen? Because there's like no emotional impact, like because you had no idea. You had no idea what the fuck was going on because it was all over chatter while you're shooting at people and stuff like that. And she's like, "Thank you, that's better than the Guardian or whatever his name was in the first game." Telling like, "I could tell you why you want to do all this stuff, but I'm not going to." You can read on some bullshit website, not in the game, but you can read it on a bullshit website elsewhere if you want to figure out really why we're doing this. Otherwise, Peter Dinklage, take it away. That was worse than anything else. But then in the 2 one, Nathan did a great job. His character was fantastic. And then he dies and it was just so unceremoniously. And you're like, oh, that was like scripted.
Yeah. The best is we're still going to continue this, but in the Witch Queen expansion, like one of the things I was reading is that there's going to be witches coming from Europa, which is the Witch King Salvatore, and it's like, okay, so first we had wizards coming from the moon, and now we have witches coming from Europa. Gotcha.
Wizards come from the moon. Witches come from Europa.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, there we go. It all comes down to that. As Chris was saying, Sony does plan to have 10 live service games by 2026, utilizing what Destiny knows about, or Bungie knows about creating live service games and keeping them going too, which I don't know how I feel about that one, but that's okay. And in additional reasons as to why they would want to purchase Bungie, Witch Queen's expansion has exceeded 1 million pre-orders. In which case, well, okay. Don't pre-order. There's a difference in pre-ordering something like this and pre-ordering a game. So this is a whole set piece that's there, and it's people are just paying for it so that they have it ahead of time, so they have it at launch day, which is fine. But this isn't like a $15 expansion. The base price for this expansion is $40. So they've made at minimum $40 million on this expansion, let alone all the other stuff, people buying silver and all sorts of other shit. But then there's an $80 and $100 version of that expansion that people were buying. So some people were paying $80. So the average price for this could roughly be about $75, which is $75 million, which is a lot. And that's not including the people that aren't pre-ordering it and are just going to buy it later or something like that, which is just insane. But that would be the reason as to why, because a lot of people sit there and think like Destiny 2, no one fucking plays that. Apparently a lot of people play it. I've been playing it, and I was shocked at how many people still continuously play that game and how big of a following it has. I mean, shit, it was
a fun game is why.
I was forced to watch a 4-hour lore video on it so that I could get caught up before the Witch Queen. 4 hours of lore that I did while I was wrapping Christmas presents and shit like that.
But that was like a third-party creation, right?
Yes, somebody made it going through all the different stuff. Oh yeah, they're not going to make that. Are you kidding me?
No,
play through it, bitches. Play through it, scrubs. That's how you do it.
Yep.
You want to learn it? Play through it, even though, sorry, a lot of that shit's vaulted, so you can't play it. Which is a problem that I have with this game, the whole vaulting thing and whatnot, which I understand, because dear God, this game is big. It's not like Modern Warfare big, but it's big. It's like 100 gigs. So they have to start vaulting in order to, not have shit just hit the fan as far as file size goes. But anywho. All right, let's see here. Moving on. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this one. I didn't realize this happened in the last 2 weeks. EVGA has announced an open carbon fiber PC dubbed the E1, which comes with a keychain, everybody.
That's got a little key fob and everything.
A keychain.
Custom.
Yeah. And it's for it's EVGA Elite members, right, Chris? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
EVGA Elite members only.
Buy it.
And I like the little tagline that you had there. If you have to ask, you can't afford it, because they have not said how much it's going to cost. But if this is a real carbon fiber chassis, that's going to be fucking expensive.
Yeah. Carbon fiber chassis.
It's suspended with wires. Yeah, it's suspended with wires. It's basically like a car.
Yeah, it's even got like analog gauges on there.
Yeah, analog temp gauges and all that stuff for it. Full liquid cooling, which is awesome. You need that for an open case. But it looks cool. I personally think that the thermal take one is cooler, in my opinion. The one that you can either sit down or you can wall mount it, and it's just completely open with a piece of plexi on the front of it. That one looks cooler, in my opinion. I like that one.
I agree, Eric. Wall mounting is the future for PCs for me. If I start really kitting this thing out, I'm going to put it right there on my wall.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my thing. Yeah.
Might as well. It's just, that way you can see it, and it's not right here next to your fucking monitor. I'm looking at you, all you people that game, and your fucking computer's right here. I don't need a space heater next to me. Why the fuck do I want a space heater next to me? I live in Arizona, for Pete's sake. I am spending top dollar to cool this room down when I'm playing games. Why do I want to put myself next to the single hottest thing in the fucking room? You know where it sits? Down on a couple of pieces of wood in the bottom corner underneath my desk. Get it far away from me as possible.
Mine used to be on Legos. I built the thing, but my cat jumped up on the thing and it broke the Lego stuff. And I was like, all right, this isn't as secure as possible. So now I have the most ridiculous setup of a computer stand for my stuff. It is mine and my wife's Wii.
Wait, both of your Wiis?
And one in the back. Both Wiis, one in the front, one in the back, and the computer just sits right on top of the Wiis. We're done.
I think we need a photo of this.
I use my Wiis for gaming, everybody.
Yep, he does use his Wiis for gaming. This is true.
We need a photo of this, how Wiis are used for gaming in 2022.
I always continuously am able to find some piece of shelving that I can use to put my computer on. I've always used for the longest time, and it's previously before. I used an old oak shelf from this old entertainment center that I had that is fuck it. It works perfectly fine. All you need is for it to get off of the carpet. That's what you need. You need it off the carpet so you get proper airflow. Boom. Pulls the air from underneath it. You're good to go. And then I got this one and I'm well, what am I gonna do? And then I'm oh yeah, Shannon, my wife, bought this stand set for her desk that had like a centerpiece and then these two like wing L-shaped like shelves that kind of like sat so that you could put monitors on underneath it. But the laptop was wider than the space that was in there, so she couldn't use it. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. We put monitor arms up into the whole thing. So we had these things sitting around. I'm like, oh, they fit perfectly underneath this. So they're just kind of like L right underneath it and keep it off of the ground, which is all that you fucking need. But that's the same thing that I used to do with like subwoofers when I was when I lived in an apartment that had carpet. I'm like, I'm not putting that fucking subwoofer on the carpet. It needs to be on wood so that I get solid reverberation so that I can piss off my neighbors more. Because they can't, I don't want them to just feel it. They need to feel it and hear it. That's how it works.
Especially at 3 a.m.
Especially at 3 a.m. And I was not that neighbor that was up at 3 o'clock in the morning playing video games really loudly with a really loud stereo system. I swear I wasn't.
I mean, you weren't having sex, that's for sure. So.
No, I was not. I was not. That was a time of self-imposed and non-self-imposed celibacy where I was just playing video games. Like I was just like, fuck it. I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. I'm playing video games all fucking day.
At the end of the day, my opinion, you won. You won that. That's always good times.
I did win. You know why? Because if I had done other things, I may not have met my wife.
How I feel too. That's how I feel too about mine. And it's just like, yep.
If
I wasn't if I was not nerding it up at certain times, oh god, my cat just fell. If I wasn't nerding it up at certain times, probably would have been doing something more stupid. So,
I love that Jason just got scared of his cat falling 2 feet when a cat can fall 13 feet, land on its feet perfectly fine.
I was scared where her claws were gonna go as she fell down
into your nutsack.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, oh god, that's not what I need right now.
All right. Okay, so let's all get ready to laugh. Elgato has announced a new addition for your Stream Deck. It's a pedal. Not just one pedal. 3 pedals, everybody. 3 pedals. That's right. You get 3 whole extra buttons for $100. Because you know what's too fucking hard? Hitting a fucking button with your hand.
Well, if you already got like if you only want like 3 more spots and you don't want to upgrade to the bigger Stream Deck, or if you already have the bigger Stream Deck, and you know you don't want to have something that you don't have to bring your hands off of the controller or off the keyboard and mouse, I get it. I mean, think of it like a piano, or think of it like a drum, or anything like that. They have foot.
One of the articles was talking about too, like for people who do DJing on Twitch.
Which
so you're doing stuff here, and you're away from your computer, just hit the pedal with your foot.
It makes sense. It's really fucking expensive.
Yeah. There's already instructions. If you look on Instructables, there's already instructions on how to make one with a
keyboard and blocks of wood.
Or with an Arduino or Raspberry Pi, and you get the full integration, all that stuff like that already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. The best is that I've seen somebody did it where they just put a second keyboard down on their computer or down on their floor, and they put blocks of wood up, and they kicked the wood, and it did the exact same thing. I think it was like block of wood, and they mashed the center keys with their foot.
It's literally just a 3-button keyboard that you're buying to have the integration, and then it has the branding, and it looks nice. Literally, that's it.
That's it. That's all it is. They did quietly announce finally official Discord interaction with the Stream Deck, which apparently was exactly what the homebrew kits did, because when I downloaded it and installed it, everything was exactly the same. My icons were the same. Discord still pops up and goes, "Hey, do you want to give access to this? Do you want to give access to this?" I'm like, "Yep." Oh, look, it's all the same. They just now went, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll support that." So it's officially supported now, everybody. So you can download your Stream Deck and you can just mute yourself in Discord or deafen yourself, which is, I swear, it should have been a thing a long ass time ago. With how many people use Discord while streaming, I was astonished when I got my Stream Deck that it wasn't natively supported. It's just ridiculous that I had to go through and jump through hoops in order to do it, and then finally there's like, "Oh yeah, okay, here you go. We'll give it to you guys." but it's necessary. Like when you're streaming, like when we do D&D on Sundays, there are times where I'm going to talk, but I don't want to be like talking over the exposition, and I'll just have to like, deafen so that I'm not like fighting the exposition that's going on in the D&D set. Like if we get raided or something like that. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. Next. All right. Rockstar Games has made it official. GTA 6 is actively in development, folks. Woo! I'm going to be honest. I was about 50-50 on whether or not it was actively in development. And when they say actively in development, it could still be like we're actively thinking about possibly maybe doing a GTA 6 instead of just upgrading GTA 5 in perpetuity. And yes, that reminds Chris that 8 years ago, we got one of our very first review copies, physical review copies, in which case they gave us a physical copy of the game, T-shirts, and a bunch of other shits.
Dude, so much shit. I still have some of that stuff right here. It's still sealed even. This is a thumb drive that's shaped like a brick of gold.
You still have that sealed?
I still have some of the stuff sitting around. Oh yeah, it's still right here. Well, I was just like, I'll use that eventually. Nope, I have it with all my other thumb drives. So
never
and stuff like
never
that.
Gonna use it. God, we get so many thumb drives at E3.
So many.
They're like, here you go. This has all of our press assets.
Stuff, or press.
The Kingdom Come Deliverance was kind of cool because it's like a little wooden one.
That one was cool.
Literally the other one I picked up. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, you picked it up. Yeah, it was a wooden one. I saw that. that one was cool, and it was like etched with Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I think they even like charred it on the inside too, which was kind of cool. But yeah,
Twitch gave us one too. Let's see, I have so many of it in here. This one was neat. From it's a business card.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Oh
yeah. Let's see what
so many different.
I keep all this stuff. I keep all this shit. I'm an idiot sometimes. Whatever.
You are tech hoarder.
I'm a tech hoarder, 100%. I have all my. I have the original boxes from my old P4 CPU. I have the box still. Do I have that CPU anywhere? Yes, but it's in like it's parted out and all kind. It doesn't work. But
I have my first gen Core i7 920 computer sitting right fucking here.
Oh yeah, this closet right here is just like if I were to open it this side, it'd be like a museum, first of all, of gaming crap, because that's where all my consoles are. And then the other side's all my boxes of everything that I've ever, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I just look down at this thing every time. I'm like, man, I should really throw that away. It takes a lot of work to actually properly dispose of computers, though, because there's arsenic in the CPUs.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like it's a first gen or a first Core i7 920 with triple channel memory and two 72 gig Raptor drives before Western Digital Black was a thing.
The Raptors, man.
Raptor drives on a RAID 0.
I remember you bragging about those 20 years ago.
Dude, they were so fucking fast. It wasn't 20 years ago.
It had to be close.
It was.
Let's see. I'm 38.
It is getting close.
Dude,
to that.
it was close.
That was 2008.
It
was 2008. That's 14 years ago.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, I know we were.
Hey, back then though, 72 gig Raptor drives was the shit. Like, let alone having two of them that you raid, and you're just like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, I remember being like, you'll never fill that up. Who needs that much space? That's ridiculous.
As I sit here with a 2 terabyte external. I sit here with a 2 terabyte external that I store all of our website stuff on.
Yeah, it's just sit next to my NAS with like multiple terabytes. So it's just like, okay.
As I had to buy a second NVMe because I basically fill my 1 terabyte NVMe with like Adobe products, and then I'm like, okay, well, all my game stuff has to go onto a second one so that I stop like filling up my computer. But I sit at like a half a terabyte just for my like regular PC stuff of like Premiere and After Effects and everything like that, and I think I'm close to filling up that second terabyte NVMe that I'm gonna have to start deleting stuff now.
I just store stuff on my NAS for our website and whatnot.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't updated in it forever, but it is all there. But
that all stores on a whole separate, like, it's a secondary external drive that just kind of like sits there. It's plugged into a USB 3 port. I can notice when it hasn't touched it in a little bit because I'll go to start saving something to it in Photoshop, and Photoshop will just hang for a second. I'm like, oh, it's spinning up the drive.
Spinning up the drive, kids, is where the actual hard disk
spins. And it has to rev up just like a car engine. It has to slowly rev up. It's not instantaneous.
And that's why there's a rule of, like, when you shut down your computer, before restarting it, you gotta wait a little while.
A little bit.
Remember the old, it's now safe to turn off your PC? That's why.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, but that was the old AT power supplies. All right. Fun little trip down memory lane, everybody.
Computer history lesson.
Your computer used to have an on and off button, and at any given moment, someone could walk over and just go bloop off. No shutdown, no slow, no going into safe mode, nothing like that. Just literally like boop off. And if you had an AT power supply, that's how it worked. Then they came out with ATX power supplies, which is the current ones, and then BTX, which is basically ATX just on steroids, to where you have to hold down the button for 8 seconds for it to fully power off. But if you touch it, it then goes into sleep mode and stuff like that. Like, it's all integrated into the actual motherboard for controlling things. But this literally was, like, when you bought a power supply and installed it, it had a cable that came from the power supply up to the front of the computer that you then screwed in, and then you could just turn it on and off at a whim.
Yep, I remember doing that in as a computer class. I think it was like typing or something like that in like high school. So like me and
those were old at that point too. That's what's sad.
Yeah,
it made me feel old.
There'd be the guy in the middle. We'd both like stand back him sometimes and just someone like distract him. Someone would just go, "Boop, your computer's off."
The sad part is that I was building computers for work during the AT to ATX transition, and that was considered old for Chris's computer classes in high school. I'm so old.
Yeah, you're gonna die first. It's great.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Chris has been through some shit, man. The fact that he hasn't died is actually surprising.
That's true. The amount of hospital stays that motherfucker has had.
You have been to the hospital more times since I've known you than I ever have in my life, which isn't that hard because the only time that I've really ever been into the hospital was when I had my knee surgery, and that was it.
It was only one time I actually went to the hospital.
It's twice.
No, it was twice. Yeah,
it's twice. It's twice. I think you might actually still be forgetting that second one. We have gotten at least 2 messages the next morning of like, so this happened at 3:00.
Like battered and bruises and stuff like that.
All right. So as we talked about earlier, the ARM deal with NVIDIA is virtually dead. We talked about it previously in the last podcast that it was rumored, and now it's rumored that NVIDIA is really going to throw in the towel like any day now, like within this week that we're doing this. It might even be tomorrow. However, even without that, NVIDIA is now the 7th largest U.S. company, passing Facebook. I refuse to call them Meta.
Okay, so is that after Facebook's like giant plunge that they just went to that I'm glad we're not talking about, but fuck them?
I think it is after.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense, and I'm glad they're saying it that way because it's just like, fuck off, Facebook.
I don't really care.
Get off of Facebook.
They're now number 7.
Get off of Facebook, everybody. Even if you're using it for business, you'll be better off.
I
say as we use Facebook.
I still have it. When's the last time we used Facebook as a site? I don't know. You know why? Because I go on Facebook maybe once every 2 weeks, and I look at it. I'm like, that's a lot of notifications. I don't care about any of those. Like, oh, that's right. I clicked the wrong button while I was trying to look at stuff while I was pooping.
Porn. Who's trying to look at porn?
Yep.
No, to look at porn takes a whole thing. You got to open Firefox, and you got to open incognito mode.
You have a child at home. You know you poop nut all the time. I know you do. That's like your main thing.
Oh no, but that can't be an accidental opening, because that's, you got to open Firefox, you got to open incognito mode, and then you got to type it in, because when you're in incognito
Facebook,
mode,
right there next to each other.
Yeah.
Right next to each other.
No, they're not. I don't know what you fucking. I don't know how you fucking like keep your shit. Like social media stuff's like all separate.
I don't have it installed at all.
But like all social media stuff is all separate. Even Discord is considered in there as like social media on my phone. It's just like, this is where I do this. This is where I do this. Here's my games. Here's my sports. Like it's all segmented out.
Here's my porn.
Here's my porn.
I only cry if I actually open the NFL app and look at the Lions like the Lions record. I don't cry when I go into my fantasy football though, because I usually do pretty well. I do better than my regular team does.
You're a 4-year-old man, Eric. Why do you still have a homework folder? What the fuck?
I'm keeping all of my homework in case I need to share it with my son on his 18th birthday. Anyways. It's all my old homework. Your homework wasn't digital back then. Shut up.
This homework isn't shaved either.
Oh God. All right.
Oregon Trail?
Since when is Oregon Trail 2 petabytes?
Gross.
And there's literally an entire section of just dying of dysentery, and you're like, your fucking fetishes are weird.
But we're not going to kink shame them.
No, we're not kink shaming.
No, don't kink shame.
They're a little weird. We're not kink shaming you though. I am allowed to say they're a little weird. I'm not going to like shame you for it though. All right. Ubisoft has gifted NFTs to their devs, and I love. Which one of you guys wrote this? Was it Chris or Jason?
I think it was me.
They just don't know what they are, so we gave them some. That's why the devs hate them.
That's pretty much what they said was, oh, they just hate them because they don't really understand them, so we're going to give some to them so they understand what NFTs are. Like,
no, they hate them. They hate them, which is actually hilarious because there was another article that popped up earlier today that I was like, I just won't talk about this. But anyways, it goes into this, that a lot of developers that have announced their NFT plans have quickly started backtracking on them because of the backlash from developers and the community itself.
Good. Like Team 17. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Team 17 one. Did we actually put that in there, or was that included in the last podcast?
We talked about him being brought in by Team 17. I don't know if we talked about him being then immediately yanked by Team 17, because I'm glad they listened. Because that was about.
No, we didn't talk about it at all. It's not on the old podcast notes. So yeah, Team 17 dropped it in. They're like, yeah, we're going all in with Worms. Like, we're gonna have Worms NFTs, and Team 17 is like a publisher, and then there's a bunch of other like developers underneath it, and literally every developer was like, yeah, we don't like NFTs, and we're not doing them, and we're really sad that this is happening. We're very sorry. Yeah, we may not work with this company anymore. And then they immediately backtracked like a day later. They're like, okay, we're not gonna do it.
Good. I mean, they're horrible for the environment. It's stupid. It's, if you're an artist, again, I'll say this every single time. If you're an artist, put your shit on an NFT, because the worst thing that's going to happen.
Make your money now while you can.
Yep.
If you're in the market to buy NFTs, don't.
Oh God.
There's nothing there.
I saw a thing. Brie Larson posted like about an NFT and then changed her Twitter profile to the NFT that she purchased, and immediately got fucking like shat on by all of her fans that are on there. Like, people that are like, I love you, but I can't believe you fucking paid for that, and blah blah, like just like ripping into her. It was hilarious. All right, let's see here. Alchemist cards, Intel Alchemist cards, which is their next GPUs, which are supposed to not be as good as the 30 series and a current Ryzen, but like a good step into the next ones, and we still don't know pricing on them, have reportedly surfaced, and they actually don't look too bad. Not gonna lie, they look pretty good. They have a large heatsink on the back of it instead of the PC board going the entire length of it, or PCB board going the entire length of it, which is awesome. And while all this is happening, some fucking idiot paid $5,000 for a Larrabee card on eBay.
He also bought the NFT.
That is not confirmed. It's probably true, but not confirmed.
He can start selling his own now.
Same energy.
I understand wanting to collect shit, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, really? $5,000.
And it's so niche. Like, there's so
not
niche.
even
it's
niche. It's not even like comparable to a 1600 or a 1060.
Well, I mean, like the collectors, like if the people that are going to be like, "Ooh, you have that? Like, that's so cool!" Like that. You're talking about like 3 other people in the world that'll be like, "Oh shit, that's dope." And it's just like for $5,000, it's not worth it.
Just like comic books, just like NFTs, something's only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it, and apparently,
True.
It's worth $5,000 to some fucking numbnut out there. I want to know how many people were in that bidding war. Because it was on eBay. And I don't know how many people were bidding on it. Was it just these 2 lonely guys both sitting in their mom's basement?
What do you think the keyword was for it?
Just look up Larrabee card. Larrabee. 2 E's. Not 3 E's. I think I said 3 E's.
Larrabee card. All right. Then we go for completed transactions. The
best part is if you were just quiet, the robot will edit out all the silence, and it will automatically, like when this podcast goes live on platforms, like you would have nothing. It would just be like boom, Jason found it so fast.
Yep.
Like you found it the fastest that you could possibly. Like he's amazing at Google. He's better at Google than Eric is.
Larrabee card.
Damn,
Google. There's like a lot of stupid shit for Larrabee.
Oh, there's so much stupid shit on eBay in general. Let's be honest here, people. eBay's dumb.
I can't find it under completed graphics.
$800.
I wonder if they removed it because it was like such a high button thing.
It could be because it hit the news and everything like that. That could be gone so that people can't see stuff. All right, let's see here. Underwater Unreal Engine 5 water looks fucking gorgeous, which it does.
Yep.
Yeah, is Sea of Thieves water about to look even better? That's what Chris wrote, I'm assuming. Possibly.
Because Sea of Thieves runs on Unreal Engine 4.
And it's an easy port. It's an easy ass port. I mean, we've talked about this, about how easy that port is. They made a tool specifically just like, yeah, here you go. You do it and it automatically updates all your assets into UE5. Like boom.
Which like an upcoming MMO that's coming out, Ashes of Creation, was being built on Unreal Engine 4. It's now on Unreal Engine 5. Because they did like test, hey, this kind of works, we can do this. Let's just build it. We're making them switch. Makes it easier for us to develop on.
Yep. And Project Titan combines Houdini and UE5, making world creation easier and still gorgeous with procedurally generated assets. The fact that I still personally know people that are gamers but haven't seen any of the UE5 stuff, that I'm like, whoa.
Just like,
we're stopping this conversation right now. We are in a VC. We're going to watch a video. And then
it's so worth it.
It is. Yeah. Like just like getting the reactions that I'm like, fuck. Holy shit. Yeah. And then I pause it. I'm like, okay, so this is all in engine. And they're like, what? And then I unpause it. It's like, this is currently playing directly on a PlayStation 5 in engine. I'm like, I love it. It's awesome. And then I go, oh, by the way, the part that you probably haven't looked down below on the screen share is that this video is from May 2020. an early build of UE5 that still technically isn't out yet. It's supposed to come out soon, though. It's like March or April is when their actual release was supposed to hit. So we're talking real soon.
They got the early access stuff out there, and then the only thing that's really out there on it is Fortnite is now running UE5.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's their
utilizing
game.
It hardcore.
It's their game. It better. Actually, the update that they did to UE5 does make like the water effects and everything like that look really gorgeous. The physics are still fucking dog shit in that game, but
that's just the game.
Yeah, but visually it looks great as far as like the water effects and everything like that. Like everything is updated a lot with UE5, which is awesome. All right. Oh yeah, your PSN can now be linked to Discord, people. We all thought that it was going to be like this big thing, and no, it just links your PSN to Discord, and when you play a game on your PlayStation, it shows that you're playing a game in Discord.
Yay. I want to hide that stuff a little bit more. Like, I have it in Discord already, and I'm just like, man, I don't want people to know that I'm playing, like, some of these games.
Don't Starve again.
I know. Like,
again.
How the fuck does
Honey
this do
Pop
that?
again?
When does this guy actually do anything?
No, you can't stop the Honey Pop one. You've got your Steam integration. You're like, no, I want people to know that I'm playing these other games, but I can't hide this one specific game. People are going to know I'm playing Honey Pop. In fact, one day, I am honestly going to just boot up Honey Pop and just have it run in the background because it's like literally nothing. It uses barely any system resources just to see like the DM reactions that I get of like, what?
Why have you been playing this for 5 hours?
10 hours now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Hey, I outed myself on stream. I have 16 hours into Honey Pop 1. I have not bought Honey Pop 2 at all, which I have helped people with that game, and that game's fucking nuts. Like, doing the dual date thing is just insane on that. Let's see here. Next. Oh, yeah, we can... That was a quick one. I can just yellow that now in here. Oh, shit, we're almost done. Ex-StarCraft and Warcraft devs have raised $25 million to make a UE5 RTS. Literally, all that they said was like, "Hey, we're gonna make a UE5 RTS." They're like, "Cool, there you go."
Can't wait to see it.
I mean, if it's the main core people that did StarCraft and Warcraft.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like at that point, I'd be like, "Here you go, take it."
Yep.
If I had that money, I'd be like, "Fucking take it, take my money, boom." Your evaluation, yep, there you go, boom, done. Like you guys can do it, and that's the great thing is that you're evaluating strictly on talent at that point because Unreal Engine 5 is just a thing. Like that's readily available. They don't have to develop it. There's nothing. Some other company is spending all that money to develop this engine. They're not having to do shit. There's no development whatsoever except purely game level development.
And it's not going to cost me anything to develop on it until they cross over $1 million in revenue.
Well, it's not going to cost you any royalties to the store.
Right.
There's still development costs.
The engine and
Yeah.
You're not developing the engine. You're not paying for the
engine.
engine.
You don't have to pay for UE5 or anything like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Until you cross it. So that is kind of a balloon payment that will come later for a company like this because you know that with that pedigree they're gonna sell like $1 million at least like within the first couple of weeks. So that is their hope though. So hopefully they're banking on this like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a balloon payment that's gonna come soon. But I really wish that they had like something started or whatnot or even said like what the premise is, but I'm gonna be honest, I love RTSs. I'll probably play it. Let's be honest here, people. All right, and last but not least, an hour and 24 minutes into our stream on Twitch, the Nintendo Switch has now officially passed the PlayStation 1 in console sales. Which, for those that don't know,
barely as entertaining as the PlayStation 1. So good job.
Currently.
Okay, I'll get flack for that, I'm sure.
No, a PlayStation 1 in its current state. No, I'm saying like
yeah, currently. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, too.
I honestly, I have a Switch. I don't know the last time that I played on it. Like, I'm gonna be honest there. I don't know the last time that I played on it that wasn't like I'm playing Mario Party with my son. Like, I think the last game that I played on it was Carrion. That was a long ass time ago.
And that's the only game I've been playing nonstop on there. When we were up at CotCon for a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I'll just play Hades. I don't give a fuck, because I didn't have Hamlet installed on my Switch, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
But I just don't play on my Switch. Like, I PC, PlayStation 5, I'm like, that's all that I need as far as like my gaming goes. But that's not to discount the Switch. Now, this is all versions of the PlayStation 1, including the Slim, and all versions of the Switch, including the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED version. So this is, a mildly weird way of going about things, but it's 103.6 million consoles.
That's a lot.
Of Switches that they've sold worldwide. And the next one that they have to pass, which is the number one selling console of all time, is only like 113. It's like 113.8. So they're going to crush the number. The big question is whether or not they continue. So if they make a Switch Pro, we will need to make a very rational thought process as to, does this get included with these sales numbers? Now, if it's the same architecture and it runs all the same games, I guess so, yeah, because the PlayStation 4 sales include the PS4 Pro. But yeah, that's a lot. Now, I will say that some of this, and this is not a fault of Nintendo's, some of this probably includes people with bonehead children that break their screens and have to buy a new one.
I mean, but you can say that for any console.
Or, yeah, it's a little bit more with the breaking screens, though. Now, Nintendo did do a good thing about putting the plastic screen on the top instead of the glass one, so you don't have to worry about cracking as much, yada, yada, yada. Or some stupid shit that I've seen of where somebody tried to plug a micro USB into the USB-C plug and fucked up the pins. I've seen that actually happen. Because USB is USB, right? It doesn't matter what it is. They're all the same.
I'll just cram it harder. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, like some of that includes that. But that brings up also then the whole like inflated numbers of red rings of death. But that's like a super inflated number that for the Xbox 360. But that's not to a fault of Nintendo's if somebody breaks their screen. So if somebody breaks their screen and has to buy a new one, well, then that sucks. But that is a testament to the fact that there are households that have multiple Switches. And I've talked with people that they're like, yeah, we have like 3 Switches and a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5. It's like they're very willing to buy a Switch for each of their kids, but then one console for the TV.
Right.
Animal Crossing. Hey, we're all going to have an island. Great. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Oh,
this is horrible. I want my own, Mom.
Mm-hmm. We'll just buy one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I want my own. I need my own. That's it.
Well, your kids all need their own Game Boy, right? That's your new Game Boy. Just give them a Switch Lite.
That is where the great thing that we talked about before of the thought process that Nintendo had going with this is they're merging both, and they did merge. They merged both sectors a long time ago. The handheld and the console sections all merged into one section of the company for R&D, and that's it. That's all they were doing, and they made the Switch, which is what, hilariously enough, like I was gonna make this rationale or this comment back when we were talking about the Stream Deck or the Steam Deck, as far as like how like Valve wanted to do something like this when they made the Steam PCs, probably. But this is literally like when they made the Wii U, their main goal was the Switch. They just didn't have the technology to make the Switch when they made the Wii U. So they made the Wii U, and it was a giant fucking flop, but it was a proof of concept. And now the big question is did they hurt themselves with how many portable consoles they sold and how many home consoles they sold. Which they may technically still be down. I'd have to do math on this to see. And it's again really hard to fucking figure out when it comes to like the DS cycles. Because the Game Boy life cycles include so many different iterations, and they did minor upgrades here and there on the 3DSs, that it's really hard to figure out like where it sits within that. But I wonder if they actually did end up hurting themselves.
I think they did, but I think that even if they did, I think their goal here was to build a community and build a archetype that was just like, we now own it 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and we can now do whatever we want because there's only the one possible portable platform to go for. Period.
Nobody else is going at it. The only person that's going at it is Valve, and even they're not fully going at it because you can't take a Steam Deck and plug it into a dock and hook it up to like a monitor or a TV. Right. It's only handheld. There's no docking capabilities to put it onto something bigger. So Nintendo's done a great job with like just building that niche, as you said, or niche, if you want to make the fancy pants word. The niche,
I like the fancy pants
for
word.
it.
Niche.
Niche. Yeah, let's just add let's add an extra on there. There we go. All right, that's it. News is over. Hour and 30 minutes into the podcast, everybody. Yeah. Probably less than that if you're listening on some kind of podcasting platform, but still. All right, we're gonna get into games that we are playing. I'll go first because mine's quick. I've been playing all my staples of the games, the recurring ones: Genshin, Destiny 2, Phasmo. I've played quite a bit of over the last few weeks as well too. But that's primarily it, except that we got a beta code for Blood Bowl 3, which, if you don't know what Blood Bowl is, we got an email from the PR company, Home Run PR, which knows my fucking kink, like, to a T. And it's the same rep. It's always the same rep. David emails me, and he's like, hey, would you like to check out this awesome new Warhammer game? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I would. So I'm like, immediately, and I emailed him back. I'm like, thank you for directly emailing me on these things because you know what my what my triggers are for it.
Warhammer?
Yes.
Some Warhammer in here.
Yeah. Please feed into my Warhammer addiction more, why don't you? And send me a copy of Blood Bowl 3. In which case David laughed and he sent me a code and we were good to go. And then I hilariously got a beta code directly from Nacon as well because I signed up for the beta program because I was like, I don't know if they're going to be doing like PR codes and shit like that. But so I played it. It's, if you don't know what Blood Bowl is, it's fantasy football. There's a big emphasis on where you put the comma because it's not fantasy football, it's fantasy football. It's football being taken place in the Warhammer universe, to where you've got orcs and goblins and dwarves and humans all playing football. A little bit more like rugby. It's like a cross. It might be, I guess the best description to it would be Aussie rules football, because it's bloody like Aussie rules football, but you have actual forward passing and you're not using your feet that much. So that's I think the best description that I have for it. It came out originally on tabletop, so this is not something that like progenerated from the digital era. It actually came out on tabletop back in the 90s when I was in high school. And I remember playing this on tabletop with one of my friends who had, like, he bought it as soon as it came out, like the tabletop version. And we played it, had fun, it was great. It translates fairly well to a PC game. It's very much like the other Warhammer games that I played. God damn it. I'm spacing on the name of the last one that I did. It was Warhammer. Hang on, I'm just pulling up Steam right now. Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, to where it's a long run game. Like, a match will take for fucking ever. It's going to take a long ass time, which is what the tabletop is. And it runs like tabletop, which, as I said before, I'm like, hey, if you want an actual real representation of tabletop Warhammer, like 40k, get Battle Sector. It's great. Like, this is a primer for your addiction of getting a tabletop before you go, oh shit, now I have to learn how to paint. But
we're like, oh shit, I have to invest in buying paint.
Yes. Right. Not only do I invest in the game, I invest in paintbrushes and paint and learning how to paint, and then also plastic safe paint removers so that I can remove paint because I fucked it up hardcore and I don't like any way that this is coming out. This is a whole process with it. But this is a good primer. It's fun-ish, depending on, like, if you are into this type of thing. It translates well. The controls are actually fairly good. The biggest problem that I had is that it's got some technical issues itself. Bulldog had a copy that he got, had some problems with it. Like, very much playing problems with it to where it locked on him. I'm like, I'm not having any of these problems with it. Then lo and behold, about 18 turns in, because this is all turn-based, the game just locked on me. And we're talking an hour and a half into a football game on this, that the game locked on me. And it just straight up locked. And I was like, it's like 11 o'clock. I have zero desire to start another football game right now, guys.
Yeah.
At which point, then I switched to a different game. And now the beta is over, unfortunately. But if they fix the physical issues, which it's a beta for a reason. They're testing to make sure that other mechanics work, and it may not be technically sound on a grand level, but it played well. There were very many things that worked well within the game. And I'm interested to see if they actually fixed the problems that there were. But the game literally just locked. And it was the weirdest lock that I've seen in a game in a long time. Like, the game just stopped. However, I could move my cursor over characters and it would visually change, because it pops up like a little window, and it would visually change the pop-up. And then I move over another one and it'd change it again. And like, all that stuff was still working, but the game clock just stopped. And the game would not progress any further. So it's something that they need to fix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something they need to fix. But beyond that, it played well and it controlled well. There were a few issues with character mapping, to where, like, 9 times out of 10, you could auto map a character and you tell it, like, I'm gonna have it go here. I'm gonna like click on it and tell it to go here. And it will auto map around so that it can't get tackled or attacked in the middle of it. But then sometimes it would just be like, yeah, no, you can't do that. And you'd be like the clear path is this. And you go like, boom, and you tell it go here. And then you've still got movement. And then you tell it to go around. And you can still get to that same spot, but the game would not be able to map it properly. But again, that was like 9 times out of 10, it worked fine. So it's interesting to see. I hope that they fix those things. I'm wondering, I forget exactly what the release date is on it. So it is coming out sometime soon, actually. There's no real release date set for it. So hopefully they fix all these issues in beta and it gets cleared up. But we'll keep an eye out for more of this one as it comes out. And it's going to be available PC, PlayStation, Xbox, whole 9 yards.
Man, remember Tecmo Bowl?
Oh, yeah, I remember Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yes, super fun. Chris, you want to go next, or do you want me, or did you play, like, you have a lot you got to talk about?
Well, we have a thing to talk about. We have a thing to talk about for Chris.
An event?
An event.
An event happened. Yeah.
This was an event. I mean, like a full-on event that the community paid for. So for those of you that are listening to the podcast that don't do anything on Twitch, which I'm sure there's probably some people that do, Twitch has channel points that you can accumulate as you go through and watch on streams and everything like that. People are watching on the stream right now during the podcast recording are accumulating points. If you're a sub, you accumulate more points. If you donate bits, you accumulate more points. If you donate subs, you accumulate more points. And then you can spend those on things, in which case I have made a fuck ton of things that you can spend them on. We've added some other things in there as well, like Jason wanted silly hat time. So there's silly hat time, in which case I don't keep hats in my office, but I do have pizza pillow, and pizza pillow sits on my head during silly hat time. It's a hat. If it sits on your head, it's a hat, right? Isn't that what
I agree?
Like if I could get my cat, or if I could get a cat to sit on my head, that's a hat, right?
I agree.
Totally.
Yeah. I have also added for a very hefty sum, because I guess I don't know if it's the people that I polled that don't want to hear it, or they think that it's really worth this amount, but it's worth like 15,000 channel points for me to read a children's book. In which case I have lots of children's books that I can read. And some of them I do voices. Very good voices. But that's beside the point. Anyways, the community as a whole donated 200,000 channel points to release the Constitution.
Yes.
Chris, what does it mean to release the Constitution, though?
So, if you don't know, I have a chest tattoo of the USS Constitution.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Front torso tattoo.
True,
Yeah,
it does
it's
go
the
down
full.
my
It's the full
full
torso.
thing.
Neck to gut.
Like, I have said chest tattoo of the USS Constitution many, many times, but hearing you say it as I'm sitting here, yeah, you can look, there's the crow's nest right there, everybody. Hearing you say it, like, on stream, I'm like, that doesn't do it justice. It's, like, full torso.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's showing it off, releasing it to the world on Twitch. So there's also combo cosplay stream. So for US matches, I kind of cosplay his character John Paul Jones. Ship Captain.
U.S. soccer matches.
US soccer matches.
Yes. Like, you gotta be
Paul
clear on
Jones.
that, especially because the Olympics are going on right now. I don't see you wearing this U.S. cosplay costume for curling.
So, John Paul Jones was never a captain of the Constitution, but he was a captain in the Continental Navy, famous for saying the line of, "I have not yet begun to fight." So it just kind of works. So it's basically like ship captain's costume, big hat, kind with wig, kind of uncomfortable streaming because it's a big hat and it kind of hits the chair plus the wig, and then also having the mic like right here. You're just like, "Hey, I'm just playing." So for that, also community said, "Hey, if you're gonna do this, you need to do Sea of Thieves."
We did
So
do
I
a
played
poll. We did
Yeah.
do a poll. This is true.
So I played Sea of Thieves with our friend Lady Rose, Dreamy the Nightmare, and my buddy Gene Lyons.
Who does the chat? Who does what?
A Chat podcast, so Chat on TV and Chat the Movies, where they would do like 80s and 90s movies. Chat on TV is just different TV shows. They had one of the like, top 5 Game of Thrones podcasts for a while when that was going on. So that was kind of fun. A lot of guys tuned in for that too. Good old time of getting hackers fighting us in Sea of Thieves. But
A good time was had by all. Seeing
Yes.
your glorious body.
The best is, so Twitch tends to prioritize like new clips whenever like it does shout outs through like Twitch Guru and stuff like that, and that has come up many times in streams when we've
Has
gotten
it?
shouted out.
Oh,
Yes, it has.
nice. So and also I go into other games I played. I guess this is the game or the year I play games with other people, because I haven't done that a lot in the past. Because I usually just play single player games.
Much like me.
So I did play some more Valorant for like 13 hours one day with some friends on stream. Started on the IO Link stream, and then Spooky Wagons joined us a little in and started streaming herself. So when Isla stopped, I kept playing with Spooky and everyone else, and I'd be like, all right, it's been 13 hours. I need to stop.
Did you eat at all during this?
I had some protein shakes.
It's next level like gaming sets. Like instead of like Doritos and stuff like that, you just got like a fucking fridge of protein shakes. In which case yours is a mini Xbox. Actually, is it a mini Xbox Series X? What do we call that? Because it's bigger than an Xbox Series X. It's an Xbox. It's a big Xbox Series X mini fridge. Filled with protein shakes, apparently.
Yep. So that also did some Jackbox games with people. Also got back into some Phasmophobia. Also did some Phasmophobia with on Isla League stream, as well as some last night with the Bulldog Omega. Got him killed, as the ghost went right past me and killed him.
That means that it was a Banshee. So you didn't get him killed. He was gonna get killed no matter what, because that thing's gonna hone in on him like regardless. So you did not get him killed. I will pull you from that responsibility, Chris.
Okay. And then getting back into some single player games, we did receive a closed beta key for Achilles Legends Untold from Evolve PR. That game will have co-op, but in closed beta it does not. So that's a isometric hack and slash Souls-like game. So it's kind of like the same perspective, like, a Diablo style game, but kind of Souls-like. So it's going to be hard. You're going to be dodging, you're going to be blocking, and fighting through. And you have, your Shrines of Hades in the game, which is kind of your campfire spots, your bonfires, where you can spend your souls points to upgrade your abilities, upgrade your health, your stamina, your power, and also kind of refuel your health and kind of stuff like that, which also then respawns enemies, but not bosses. It's fun. It's a very enjoyable game. They're working through it. It's going to enter early access later this year, so they're just kind of trying to get some feedback. Another game that we got kind of that just exited early access. We got a beta code to take our early access code that we got previously from Evolve PR into like the full kind of release one, and that's the Waylanders.
That's right. I let you take that one because you were the one that played the most out of it. Like I dabbled in it and then I went off onto something else. So I'm like, yeah, Chris, take that.
Originally it came out, I only played it for a little bit because I ran some bugs. I'm like, it's kind of early access. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm kind of work some of that stuff out. So I played through now. Played through the beginning of the whole thing. Kind of broke the game for a little bit. Sent that over so they can kind of fix it. So if you're unfamiliar, it's kind of like an old kind of Baldur's Gate kind of style game where it's, you got your party up to like 5 members as you kind of gain your party members throughout the game. It's real time with the ability to stop and then give your party members commands and stuff like that. So you can pause the action, but the action itself is all kind of real time, not turn based. You got different abilities, kind of like MMO style kind of combat. You're basically a Greek mercenary helping out these guys going island, try to beat their gods. Gods turn out evil. There's corruption going in the world. You got to try to figure it out, and now a power struggle before being transported into the future. And I got to a point where I couldn't stream it anymore because of embargo, and played a little bit, and then it came out, and save file's gone.
Oh, that's right. I remember it. Now I remember. Like, shit.
Like, I don't know when I'm gonna go back to the game because going through all that work again.
Yeah.
That's rough. Did the save file disappear from like a game update or what?
I think it was probably the game update because when it finally came out early access, it's still on that pre-release version.
That kind of...
I went in a directory and it's just gone.
I mean, I don't want to be angry at devs for, like you gave an early access. However, please be a little considerate to content creators and people that you give early access stuff to, because, man, there gets to a point to where it's like you spent so much time doing it that you may or may not want to actually spend that time to go through and do it. I mean, fuck. I mean, I've had games where I spent like 2.5 hours playing it, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, do I want to go back through that 2.5 hours? No, I don't. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we'll come back to it then.
Yep. I mean, it's a fun game. I really enjoyed it. I kind of want to go back and play, but I don't want to go back through all that stuff I just went through.
Right. That's a lot of story. I remember the bit that I played for it when we first got that code, that it was a lot of story even in that. There was a lot of dialogue and everything in the small amount that I played. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Oof. All right then. Do you want to give any type of review for the beta, or are you good? You want to just keep it at like, you want to give like a play it or don't play it type thing?
We'll probably keep it at play or don't play it, just because of the issues I wasn't able to fully go through it. I'll say play it because it's enjoyable. I liked it. I just, now with my issue, I don't really want to go back through and redo all that, especially when Lost Ark comes out in early access tomorrow.
Yes, as we talked about earlier, that Chris now has early access to it, and Chris will be lost into the ether.
He'll be disappearing. Good thing we're getting this done today, because we won't.
Yeah,
again for a while.
Yeah. Dragging him out tomorrow would be a pain in the ass. Like, but Lost Ark, I want to play Lost Ark. Like, no, get on your move. Like, I will fucking drive down to Chandler and murder you, and then
you watched our
reanimate your corpse.
Yeah, if you watch our extra live stream, he like adamantly refused to play anything else but the beta.
Oh yeah,
at the entire day, 24 hours.
Oh yeah, someone was asking me like, well, is the game going to be good? I'm like, well, Chris played that fucking game for 24 hours, so you tell me.
Because like I wanted to play it, but then we started playing
Goose Duck.
Before that, we started Back 4 Blood, and then
went
to DFDs for a little bit because we wanted to start out with multiplayer games. So I was like, okay, Lost Ark time.
But then you went back into Lost Ark for like 12 plus hours, and then somebody paid so that you would stop playing Lost Ark and play Goose Duck with us.
Yes.
Like, you had to be paid. Like, someone had to donate money to charity in order to get you to stop playing this game.
So there might be some very long streams of me playing this game coming up.
That's fine.
Because
sounds great.
Playing it.
Yep. So Chris will be playing it, and as he said, remember, drops will be enabled on that. Yes. So tune in. It's 5 hours of watch time cumulatively on anybody, but there is like the way that Twitch does it is like there's like a 20-minute buffer between streams for it to start like accumulating things. So if you tune in at 3 hours, you got to wait 20 minutes and then wait for somebody else to do it, yada yada yada. But 5 hours total of watching Chris do it, and he might release the Constitution. No, he's not going to release the Constitution. You have to pay for that. All right. That it?
I think that's it.
Yeah. I think that's it. I don't remember any of the games that you played.
No.
All right, Jason.
Phasma, Waylanders.
I'm still going on my slog with Seth.
Oh yeah, by the way, are you're playing my copy of Phasma, right? Because we're family set. I don't think you actually own it on yours, do you?
No, I do.
Do you? I was trying to remember. I was like every time I saw you, I'm like,
together.
I'm like, is he playing mine? Oh no, yeah, you own it. There we go.
Yeah, because we've played Phasma together.
Wait a second. Did you unfamily me? Because your family stuff's not showing up in my library anymore.
No?
Son of a bitch.
Maybe it's just not being shared because I don't know.
Do you have what do you have open right now, Chris? What
I
do you
show
have?
him though. I have it
What do you
in my library.
Chris? No, Chris unshared me. Chris unshared me.
Shouldn't
Well,
be.
good.
I am shocked and appalled. Go, Jason.
Yeah, you're still on the check mark.
Steam's just being stupid. Either way.
Yeah. Dasuv, Patatas, and Batosa IBF.
All right. Go, Jason.
Anyway, I'm still slogging through Valhalla. It's Valhalla. There's nothing I'm going to say here that's not already been said. I find sprints of entertainment in this game, and then quickly it dies off immediately, slowly after. But I'll keep trying. It's there, and I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. I beat through Death's Door completely. I think I talked about it last time, but I want to talk about it again because it's such an amazing game and so enjoyable. Did the secret ending, quote unquote, if you want to call it, that they really did a good job of extending out the gameplay of this and then building the lore of what it was and how it tied into Titan Souls. Really cool on how they did all that. Really fun. So if you're looking for isometric play style game action, Metroidvania-esque, well worth it. It is so much fun. Game Pass, do it right away. The rest of the time I've been spending myself with a new game that just came out a little bit ago called Nobody Saves the World. And it's where you are some anthropomorphic blob wakes up like in an old school RPG style, and then you go out into the world and you level up by gaining different abilities, and these abilities come in the shape of other shapes to yourself. So you can use a magic wand and you change what you look like, whether it be like a rogue, a knight warrior, a magician, a blob, a zombie, a horse, a slug.
That's an awful lot like an anime I've watched.
Oh, there's so many different things you can turn into. And it's very anime-esque. I mean, there's a whole love scene where you are a horse and you see a horse and you're just like, my God, this is the most gorgeous horse I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it goes into some weird territory. The comedy is spot on. They do a really good job of writing it out and how you interact with the world, and nothing is taken way too seriously, and like very dark humor all over the place of what's going on. Children being poisoned, it doesn't matter. It's hilarious. There's so much things to go on. The combat, it's kind of interesting and different. The way that they do it is that each form that you have has a special ability. So obviously, like for example, the horse can buck, and you can kick enemies and slam them against the wall. And
apparently fuck other horses.
And apparently fuck other horses. It's a very strong ability. But you can then take other abilities from your other forms as you level them up and put them on the form. So you want to have a horse that can buck, but then also shoot arrows out of his chest? Why not? You can do that now. And you kind of level that up and make these like crazy characters that are just like all over the place and able to do stuff. A zombie that throws snot bubbles and then also eats poisoned enemies. Sure, why not? A magician that pulls rabbits out of its hat, and then the rabbits also explode with holy damage after a while. Okay, why not?
Sure.
You know, so there's all kinds of different things you can do. It ranks up in difficulty pretty quickly, which is kind of nice because the game is very open to how you want to play it. Tons of different puzzles. The dungeons are all randomly generated each and every single time, which is cool, but at the same time, there's no real reason so far to go into a dungeon more than once you've beat it. So it's only really if you die, then you have to start over and it's not the same thing, which the dungeons are pretty linear. So it's neat, but it's not really necessary. Otherwise, storyline's been fantastic. The gameplay has been a lot of fun. The difference of what it means to building up your different forms has been really cool. And it's been a very fun, different style of game. There is multiplayer, which is kind of interesting. So you can play with a friend at the same time and kind of just destroy monsters all over the place with your crazy abilities. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I highly recommend it. And it'll probably be the last of my ridiculous games that I play until I go back into depressing games like Don't Starve and Darkest Dungeon, because I love those games so much.
I do have a game I forgot that I am playing that I can't talk about because it's under embargo until the 16th and it doesn't come out till the 22nd. So there is a game that I have that is that I can't talk about, but we will be talking about it in the next podcast. I totally forgot about that.
No.
Like, oh yeah, I guess I could talk about it in that aspect of it. Is that it though, Jason?
That's all I have. I do have a review copy that I got that I am kind of skirting on playing, but I do have one that I need to play as well. Same thing. It's under embargo, so I'm not in a rush about it, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. I mean, we get to a point where it's like, well, it's an embargo, so we can't really talk about it. We forget about things and whatnot and go from there. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for the IBIF First podcast. We went super long in our news and we're still ending early. But we know that you have a choice in podcasts that you can listen to. And unfortunately, you made the wrong one by listening to us. But hey, you know what? We love you anyways. So welcome into these horrible family. You can find us at ibitfirst.com, where we have our backlog of website stuff as well as just our podcast. And then ibif.co, which is where you can actually get links to all of our podcast on all of the syndicating platforms that you might listen to it. So wherever it is that you want to listen to podcasts, you can find it there at ibif.co. So if you have somebody that's looking for something, just go ahead and send them that link, ibif.co, and they can get to it. You can also find us Facebook, ibitfirst.com, Twitter, ibitfirst, Instagram, ibitfirst. We record each and every one of our podcasts live on Twitch at twitch.tv/ibitfirst as well. So you can go ahead and watch us there along with everybody else that is watching us within it. But without further ado, we can't do anything without Chris saying bye-bye.
Digital there. That was fun.
Nice. All right. Thanks everybody that has been watching on Twitch. We're stopping our recording and we are going to raid into our good friend Biddy Babe, who just hit affiliate last week. So congrats to Biddy on hitting affiliate last week. And she is playing, let's see here, she's playing Dying Light 2 right now still, because she has been playing that for a bit. But Biddy's super awesome.
Recording stopped.
We have played Dead by Daylight with her and a few other games. So let's go ahead and get ready to say hello to Biddy Babe 91. All right, thanks a lot, everybody, and have a great night.
Bye. Good luck finding your dad.